Landed in Darwin around 11:30, 12 o'clock. Checked into the hotel, had a briefing session and had a chat about what the week's going to look like, and we ended up getting into a boxing session this afternoon, and the boys got a bit of sweat on, which is good.
3, 2, one more, through the nose only.
In between the sets of boxing, we did swimming, and I think the boys would have thought it would have been quite refreshing, but they thought wrong, and it was quite hot in the water as well. Being back home, I love fishing and that, but the part of the trip I'm most looking forward to is probably taking the boys over to the Tiwi Islands and seeing the young kids in a remote community, which I think it's going to be an eye-opener for the boys, so there'll be something to look forward to.
Two, three, 4, 5.
Keep driving! Go! Keep right strong!
It's the 19th of February 1942. It was a Thursday. There was 188 Japanese planes armed to the teeth flew over Darwin and dropped 115 tonnes of bombs. Now that's more tonnage of bomb dropped on Darwin than Pearl Harbor.
So this Harvo has just been taken out by actually one of a good mate of our coaches, Danny Sexton, Gary. We call him Gags. He's taking us all around town, showing us a few of the sites and giving us a bit of a rundown of the history of Darwin and more specifically about the bombings. So it's been really interesting and really good experience for us to learn about that, because a lot of stuff we didn't know or didn't learn sort of going through school. So it's been a really enjoyable experience so far, and definitely one the boys will remember.
1, 2, 3.
So yeah, Wednesday we went out on the boats down to the harbour, and Longy's dad and cousin took us to a few fishing spots, which was awesome. I shared a boat with Longy and Sinks. Yeah, we were the boat that set the crab nets out and that kind of thing. We're throwing our last pot in. We've put a couple of fish in there and hopefully catch a few crabs soon. Now. Yeah, so me and Richard had a bit of a bet before the trip, who would catch the bigger fish. I was struggling a bit early on. He caught a fair few at the start and was getting into me a little bit and letting me know about it.
I caught it, mate. It's been sitting on the line for half an hour. Mate, what do you mean?
Yeah, I think there was a bit of tension there with a bit of competition, obviously, who caught the biggest fish, but I think Gresh came out on the better end, and I think Dara, being from the other side of around the world, hadn't fished much. I think he caught the most fish on the day, which was good. So we're on Melville Island at Tiwi College at Pikamatura. They welcomed us, and we talked about different things of their culture with dancing, ceremony, the land, and the animals and how they hunt, which is quite interesting for the boys. Growing up as a kid, travelling back and forth and going fishing and hunting and learning the culture over here, And come back here, with the club means a hell of a lot to me, especially knowing the younger kids that I've sort of knew growing up as well. They're treating us as gods because we're playing at AFL level. So it's probably one of their dreams growing up because they live and breathe footy here.
It's good to give back and come down here. I haven't been to Darwin before. It's good to see their kind of culture. It's a bit different to ours in Melbourne. It's important just to learn a bit about the culture and get a bit more understanding about it. We just had a talk just before and everyone said they've learned heaps over the last week. There's a lot of things that we do in our culture that we can do in everyday life and get experiences from and bring that back to the club. So yeah, you can take a few things out of it and hopefully pass it on to your family, friends and that kind of thing.
1, 2, 3.
5.
We'll draw. Go again. 1, 2, 3.
5.
The type of role model I want to be is just someone who's leads in the right way, sets high standards, and wherever they want to achieve in life, just to direct it in the right way so they can get the best out of themselves. Obviously, my uncle played for the Bombers, and a few of my cousins, in terms of Cyril Rioli, winning a few flags. I think he was my idol growing up as a kid. Obviously, always watching him play when he runs out, does some freaky stuff on the field. But yeah, I guess I was led in the right path. I went down to boarding school and had a good opportunity to further my footy down there, and obviously my education, and one thing led to another. Just playing good footy, and then dream come true to be drafted to the Saints, which is amazing for me.